Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of Extra Time TV. This is Andre Soklan and we're here at Smokey and Bunty's where the sporting action is at during the World Cup. We have a lot of things to do. James, you know, we have a lot of reasons to come down here. Tell the fans why they need to come down here.
Well, we know we're here at Smokey and Bunty's on the Avenue, and we have some wonderful giveaways, obviously, for this month of the World Cup. Obviously, we have all the sports memorabilia and all the sports fans here, so come down and join us, and especially for the chance to win that wonderful prize, flights for two to Tobago. Obviously, we'll give that out on the at the final on the 18th of December. So come down, try to win that. We have not cases of beer, 6 packs of beer. Sorry, don't want to give away too much of there, but and so much other things. So come down, join us, and just have a good time.
Yes. So we're gonna head straight into the action, folks. You know, the first game this morning, we all woke up at the crack of dawn. Switzerland took on Cameroon. It was a 1-0, game. It was narrow. We'll just head straight into it, folks. James, we'll start with you. What was the initial reactions to this game?
Well, this was a very, very entertaining game. Switzerland came out. I thought they were pretty good. Obviously, Mbolo got the winning goal there. Ironically, he was born in Cameroon, and we saw he didn't celebrate, which was a lovely gesture, but it was an excellent game. Both teams, Cameroon playing a 4-3-3, Switzerland playing a 4-2-3-1. I thought Shaqiri and Xhaka were excellent for Switzerland. Cameroon tried. I mean, they had Choupo-Moting up front there. He ran, he tried his best, but at the end of the day, they were not just able to break down the Swiss team and get that a goal. So, to me, it was the right result. Excellent game and very, very entertaining.
Yes. So, Kevin, this is a game that, was very tight. It's a cliche term to use, that it was a tight game. So let me know your thoughts on the game, because obviously, possession-wise, it was like 51% for Switzerland, 49% for Cameroon. It was a tight game, and also that nice gesture James spoke about. So let me hear your thoughts on the game.
Sure, thanks. Well, I think what we've seen in this World Cup is the gap being bridged from the so-called bigger teams and, if you want to say, smaller teams. We've seen, I think the coaching, the tactical changes on the coaches and stuff, the level is just getting higher and higher. Like I said, I expected Cameroon to probably go for it a little bit more in terms of they had the pace on Switzerland. They kudos from Ajax, I believe. They had Choupo-Moting, who James mentioned already. They had Wangisa from Napoli, so they had some players that could really do something. So I thought that maybe at some point in the game they would throw caution to the wind and just really go for it. But as Jim mentioned, remember it's the first game, you don't want to give away too much. I thought Switzerland was solid, and Switzerland somehow do it. They somehow just come out of the group. They somehow just do enough. So with that, I think it's a fair result.
So, obviously, the game was tight. We said that already a couple times. But do you think, heading into the second and the third game, based on this loss that Cameroon has, do you think that they can come out of the group? James, do you think they can come out? And, Kevin, you can tell me afterwards.
Well, I mean, Cameroon had a lot of good, as I say. They were, to be honest, they probably were very even first half. It was that second half performance with Switzerland. They raised the game a little bit, a lot more movement, but at the end of the day, it's the opening game, so there's still 6 points on the table there, so it's very open and anybody can come out. It'll be tough, but let's see what happens. Andre, what about you, Kim?
So I think that as I said, Switzerland somehow always do enough in these competitions to come out of their group, but I have my money on Serbia. We all know what happened, and we'll discuss that later on in the show, but I still have my money on Serbia because I think they have a very, very, very good team. And I think it will be Brazil-Serbia for me, But as Jim said, this is one of the most difficult World Cup to predict. I mean, the level of football and the level of coaching and the tactics we've seen on display, fantastic.
James, any final thoughts?
No, well, like I said, it was an excellent game. I mean, I really thoroughly enjoyed it, and it led very much into the next game, which obviously we'll just come on to.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So, before we head into the next game, we're going to make a quick mention, make sure to sanitize and take care of, all your hygienic issues because, to be honest, the COVID-19 pandemic is essentially over, but, we still have to be safe and practice, sanitizing, taking care of ourselves because we don't want to get sick. The World Cup is going on. James, Biotech is a group that really kind of takes care of us. Could you tell us a little bit about Biotech real quick?
Biotech Plus is internationally certified for all clinical disinfectation and sterilization, all infectious disease control and surgical instruments. You can contact them on ybmsbiotech.com through their website, and as I say, you can also get it in your supermarket and various shops here in Trinidad and Tobago. So make sure you sanitize and follow Biotech for all your information on that.
So, folks, we're going to head to the next game, which is, Uruguay, who's a team that's had a lot of history in this tournament, and also they took on South Korea. The game ended 0-0. I hate to use the usual cliche, but it was not a boring draw. A lot of players that are still there. A lot of people were talking about them, Suarez, Diego Godin. But, we'll get our initial reaction. James, we'll start with you and then head to Kevin and bounce back. So, James, what was your initial reaction to this game?
Well, this game was played at Education City in Qatar, and we were definitely educated. Both teams put on a good show. I thought South Korea were excellent. They chased, they worked, they pushed. I thought Son was wonderful. I thought Wang Longzhou was excellent up top. And there was many times throughout the game they just about broke the deadlock. I thought Richarlison was very good in goal for Uruguay. Obviously a main talking point because he came in there in front of obviously the experienced Musiala there, goalkeeper. And but it was definitely a good battle between both teams. I thought Uruguay, they played a 4-1-2-3, interesting formation there, and obviously South Korea played a 4-2-3-1. So they kind of matched each other out of the game at periods. But I thought Valverde was excellent in midfield. He bossed it. He was ferocious at times. He had a few opportunities. I thought Godin was excellent at the back. So a really, really good game. But nobody was able to break the deadlock, and obviously it finished at 0-0. But both of these teams, don't get me wrong, can definitely come out of the group. Yes. What about you, Kev?
Well, again, interesting tactics on display. James would have talked about the formations. The style was very much let's see who could counter, and I think that really added to the 0-0 because South Korea was waiting to counter, and then Uruguay was waiting to counter, and at times it just wasn't happening. But I would have liked to see Uruguay take a little more impetus, being a South American team, like we did see with Ecuador in the opening game where they realized Qatar was sitting back. So they reminded us that they were a South American team. They still have the flair, the pace, the tricks. I would have expected, especially the kind of players that Uruguay has produced in the past, as Recoba, Forlan, who was the best player in the 2010 World Cup. Yeah. I thought they would have taken the game at the scruff of the neck and really reminded us that they too are also a South American team. I expected more from Uruguay. I had them as one of my dark horses for the entire World Cup. Yeah. I like the team. I find the back is solid, experience, midfield with Valverde there, who I think is soon to be the best box-to-box midfielder in the world. We obviously saw that ferocious shot, that the cannon of the post. I thought I was in. And then his work going back is fantastic. And then, of course, you have the deadly Luis Suarez, you have Darwin Núñez, you have Cavani coming off the bench. So I really thought they would have really shown the experience and the impetus and won the game. With South Korea, as I say, I've been impressed with the Asian teams in this World Cup. You had Saudi Arabia beating Argentina, you had Japan beating Germany, and now you had South Korea putting on this excellent display against Uruguay. So obviously, that part of the world are really quickly closing the gap, and we'll see how it goes. I still have Uruguay to come on the group, and I have Portugal to win it. And but that could go either way. That game could be a very, very interesting game.
Yeah, well, just to touch back on one thing you said there, I think you're right. Uruguay was a team that I said beforehand could come out, but I was really impressed with South Korea. And one of the things I forgot to mention is that little error from the goalkeeper in the 90th minute there just about gave Son that opportunity. He wasn't able to capitalise on it, and as I say, it finished 0-0. So it was a great game, but we will see if both of these teams can come up big in the next game.
Yes. As I said at the beginning, Uruguay is a team that has a lot of history in this tournament. And, they're known as South American teams usually attack and have a lot of flair, but they're also that team in South America that's not afraid to play, that defensive style football. Some people, kind of term them like the Italians of South America. So, while, the argument, and we'll talk about this as we go along, and folks, you can let us know what you think in the comment section below. What do you think about Uruguay's performance? Obviously they have some Asian players, but they have some young players, and, as Kevin rightfully mentioned, before they had players like Recoba and Diego Forlan, and now they have Vecino and these guys who are not very functional midfielders. They no longer have that spark that they have. So I guess they're trying to play, and this is the post Oscar Tabarez era. So just to end off this one before we go to the next game, obviously possession wise, Uruguay had 57, and South Korea had 43, which was pretty close. It was pretty close. So, the game was closer than it looked. Well, it was pretty close. So, we'll see how this game goes. James says Uruguay may not make it out again. Kevin, you said Uruguay is going to make it out. Right, so, we'll see how it goes, folks. So we're going to head to the next game, the game that has a lot of people talking. I'm going to start this off, and like we said, we're going to jump across to you, James. Before I get into the score lines, obviously Portugal won 3-2 against Ghana. It was a game that was way closer than I thought it would have been. I knew it was going to be a tight game. I mean, not to use an overused cliche. It was 3-2 to Ghana, but I'm going to start in the reverse order. I'm going to talk about what took place in the end, and also the penalty as well. So obviously, Diogo Costa almost kind of threw away the 2 points. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I had to go back and look on YouTube to see it because it looked ridiculous. James, you could give me your thoughts, and then Kevin, you could tell me your thoughts on the penalty. What do you think about that as somebody, who was a goalkeeper, James? About what Diogo did?
Well, to be honest, I was not impressed at all with him the whole game. I thought he could have done better with both of the goals. I think he lacked concentration, and we saw that at the end, and it could have been devastating for Portugal. He got away with it because of a slip, probably, but it's not good enough at this level. He's a young guy. Obviously, he plays with Porto, but I think if it was me, I would have played Rui Patricio there in goals. The Roma goalkeeper, he's fantastic. He's experienced, and I think they would not have lost these 2 goals. And he would have bossed that midfield, not midfield, defence, because at the end they were hanging on for dear life, because obviously the coach made the substitutions, took off Ronaldo, took off Silva, took off Felix, so it did have an impact. With regards to the penalty which you talked about, I think it was a penalty. I mean, Ronaldo, he was in control of the ball, he was touched, and he dispatched the penalty beautifully. I don't think the goalkeeper had any chance, to be honest. Yeah. But because of what happened earlier on in the game, to me, Ronaldo scored a goal, which to me, they said he outmuscled the defender. It was like a feather. He blew him over a little bit. To me, there was nothing in it. It should have stood. So either way, Ronaldo would have scored. So I think it was definitely justice either way. Yep. What about you, Kev?
Well, again, I had the score at the beginning to be 3-1 because I think Ghana have goals in them. Obviously, Naki Williams plays for Athletic Bilbao. Fantastic player, very pacey. You have the 2 AU brothers, goal scorers, flary players, So I think they had goals in them. So I really thought that Portugal would have put it away earlier. I think the changes hurt them more than we think. As a guy getting into the coaching slowly, the older coaches always tell you don't change the entire senior players one time because you might not be able to replace them with the same quality. And what he did is that's exactly what happened. He wasn't able to replace Felix, Silva and Ronaldo with the same quality, and he almost ended up with egg on his face because if Ghana pulled that back, I don't think Portugal had it in them to really get the 4th one, especially without Ronaldo there. And I still have them to come on the group. The Uruguay game will be massive. That will be the group winners, whoever wins that game. I think people underestimate maybe the importance of Ronaldo in the dressing room. Ronaldo is a fantastic leader, and he gives you that belief that you could win, that you could not just he could win it, you could win it. There was a clip from the Euros when he was telling Moutinho he has to take the penalty. So he's that type of character. So I think Portugal still have a chance for the entire World Cup. I think they will get better. Patricio, for me, needs to play the next game. I think the nerves got to this young keeper, and Costa he wasn't ready for the occasion, and it showed because from what I saw of Patricio, he's saving those 2 goals, and he also will keep the defense calm. So I still have Portugal to come in the group and maybe even go all the way.
Kev, after such an entertaining game, and Andre, I mean, that game was fantastic, but we know the Golden Boys of Brazil were up next, so let's head out into the sunshine outside and talk about that Brazilian game.
Few moments later.
So we're going to head into the game that everybody has been talking about, the neutrals especially, maybe not me so much. Brazil took on Serbia. It was 2-0, 2 really good goals from, a player that a lot of people kind of pass under the radar. But before we talk about that, James, I want to continue with talking about sanitization. and cleaning and things like that, because we mentioned it before, to be safe, to sanitize, and we're going to play a little quick message from Biotech.
Biotech Plus is certified green, biodegradable, certified food safe, certified non-toxic. Biotech Plus, safe for the environment and your entire family.
So now that we're back, folks, we're going to talk about that goal. James, that second goal, what do you think about it?
Wow.
Yep.
We had a real treat today with this game. I mean, I thought Richarlison's first goal was good, but that second goal was absolutely phenomenal.
Yes.
I mean, it was a great ball in, don't get me wrong, but the way he was able to catch it and then the overhead kick, I mean, best goal of the tournament by far so far. And I don't think we'll see much better than that, Andre. Absolutely fantastic.
Yes, and Kevin, possession-wise, it was 59 versus 41. It looked up until that point like a pretty even game. Obviously Brazil, being Brazil with the dynamic attacking players and so on. But to be fair to Serbia, they may not have been as mobile and fast, but they were very solid tactically. They were trying to get, far post crosses and looping crosses. As we can see, we have some fans behind who are clearly enjoying this game, folks. They're having some fun. He's done. He thinks Brazil is going to have the trophy, I think. He's definitely happy with the result today. So, there's a huge atmosphere. Come on down, folks. You see, they're going to take it, folks. So, there's a huge atmosphere going on down here. You can come down, as you can see. People are coming around. Some are apparently celebrating the World Cup already with a trophy. But, unfortunately, in the middle of the celebrations, we have to go back to the tactics. So, as I was saying, Serbia looked really solid. They were getting in some nice looping crosses, trying to take advantage of their height. What do you think about Serbia's approach to the game?
Actually, barring the result, I don't find they were that bad.
Yeah.
I had Serbia as the surprise package this World Cup, just based on the amount of attacking players that they do have. The Vlahovic, Tadic's, the Mitrovic's,
Yes.
Kostic. A lot of talent. Milinkovic, Savic, a lot of talent going forward, and they were solid in the 4-4-2 formation mid-block, which a lot of teams are adapting in this World Cup. We're not seeing very, very high lines apart from that Saudi Arabia game.
Yeah.
I wish that Serbia would have gone for it, from the start. Don't show Brazil the respect that I know they deserve.
Yeah.
But go for it. You have great attacking players. Why not use it? Because I mean, if you look at Brazil, that's what they do.
Yeah.
They have great attacking players. They rather win a game 6-3 than 2-0.
Yeah, true.
So I felt that Serbia could have go for it. But in the first half they were very compact. No spaces in between the line. They were not allowing Brazil to play, and they tried to counter-attack. But I think that lack of pace.
Yes.
That lack of pace really hurt them. They managed the first half very well, but then unfortunately for them, we saw the Samoa boys in the second half. I mean, they came out all guns blazing. Richarlison goal. I think that is why every neutral fan in football loves Brazil. That's the type of football we love to see. That's the type of goals we expect. And overall, that second half performance from Brazil, I hate to say it, they are rightful favourites. I mean, they look virtually unplayable. I actually thought, even though they looked overwhelmed, I think Serbia managed well given how well Brazil were playing.
Yeah.
I still put Serbia as coming out of the group, though. I think they could get something from the other games.
Well, you read my mind with the question I was going to ask. Kevin seems to be reading my mind a lot, folks, but I was going to ask who's going to come out from the group. Brazil obviously are always favorites, no matter who they are. But I'll ask this question before we continue with some of the tactics. Brazil and other teams, have in the past and in recent years started off really well. And then, let's just go back to 2018, and then they met Belgium. 2014, I know a lot of people don't want to talk about 2014, especially if you're a Brazilian fan.
Wanna see me fall. Stephen Curry, how I ball. Go.
Brazil are tagged the favorites because of their history and their current squad. Do you think, based on this performance, and I think Kevin kind of answered that, but James, you could tell me this. Do you think, based on this performance, that they could sustain this and then go on to win the tournament?
From what I saw today, I mean, they looked devastating in that second half. So it was kind of a building process as the game went on. So I think they will. The only little concern I would have is Neymar went off with an injury.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm hoping it's not too bad because he is obviously a big player for them.
Yes.
But they have a phenomenal squad. I mean, Martinelli came on at the end there. Their bench is full of stars. So, I mean, maybe not necessarily on Neymar's level at the moment, but we like to see new players being born as well.
Correct.
So I think they will. Will they win it? We will see, because there's. After seeing Portugal, they look pretty good. England look pretty good. I think Holland will come good. I mean, Kev will be hoping Germany obviously get things back.
Yeah.
Your team Argentina, but and France as well. So there's a lot of big names in there, but I really think they'll be there or thereabouts.
Yeah. Just to end things off, both teams, as we said, they were close up at a certain point, and then individual brilliance. For example, like Vinicius, that cross he put in. The shot for the first goal. Was it Vinicius? I can't remember, but it was somebody. And then for the actual second glamorous goal, when Vinicius kind of poked it through, and the composure to finish that. For a while, like I look at a lot of South American football, and that Brazilian number 9 was kind of missing for a while. They had the number 10s and the wide players, and I think, to me, who I'm an Argentinian fan, and I can say this, that that kind of makes them. The tip of the sword. That's what they were missing.
Yeah, they were definitely missing that, and he came up big with obviously the 2 goals. I mean, 1 point to note, I thought the goalkeeper for Serbia was fantastic. I think Milenkovic, I think his name is. Really big performance. I mean, there was one even save that I think if you were to look with a magnifying glass, he probably got a little touch there as well, but he came up big and he kept the score obviously lying down. But as Kev said, I think it was a decent performance from Serbia, so don't take anything away from them.
Correct.
I think they will be a dangerous team as the group proceeds, but we had a real treat today. I mean, I can't think of any more superlatives to talk about Brazil. They were just that good.
Yes. So, folks, let us know what you think in the comment section. Brazil are usually always favorites. Kevin, any final thoughts on this game?
Just one final thought I thought I needed to mention is, remember Richarlison was a controversial pick. A lot of the Brazilian public and the world public were calling for Gabigol to be included, and I think he answered a lot of his critics, and I think I saw he already scored 14 goals for Brazil, and I mean, I think that's a lot, given that he didn't not too long ago make his debut.
Yeah.
So he answered a lot of questions. I think he's a good player, but as James said, or as you said, he is not an out-and-out striker, and I can't think how many teams actually have that out-and-out striker right now. But that out-and-out striker is a thing of the past, as we're seeing a lot of tactics where the number 9 plays as the 10, and fluidity is the name of the game now. So, but final thoughts, I think Brazil will top the group. I still have Serbia as outside favorites to come out second. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, that's the beauty of football. You never know.
Yes. So folks, we're going to end things off. James, we have a lot of games to look forward to in the middle of the action of the World Cup action and football and other things that's going on. James, tell us about the games tomorrow to look forward to.
Well, tomorrow we have some excellent games. Obviously, we have Wales, Iran at 6 a.m. We have Qatar, obviously the host, playing Senegal at 9 a.m. Then we have Netherlands versus Ecuador, a big game for both of those sides. And England against USA. I mean, that will be a game. Obviously, the Americans will not want to fall to the English. And England showed, obviously, with the 6-2 win in their opening game, how good they are. So that'll be a mouth-watering tie.
Yes. And folks, let us know your predictions, your thoughts on what we're saying. If you agree or disagree, it's fine. That's why we like this game. So let us know what you think in the various social media, which is the Smokey and Bundy social media page, the YouTube channel, you have it in the comment section, the Facebook pages for EXTV as well, Instagram. We are everywhere, folks. Let us know what you think. And also come on down here. It's the place where we can have some football conversations, have a good time, as you can see, as the activity behind us and the very excited Brazilian fans, who seem to be, happy about the game, obviously. Come on down. We have prizes, we have giveaways, we have things to do. We have give us suggestions if you want. We want to hear it. Come on down. Let's talk tactics. So once again, folks, on behalf of James, myself, and Kevin, we're going to continue our daily journey throughout this wonderful tournament, and we'll see how it goes.
And make sure you all tune in, as we say, to the greatest show on earth.
Yeah.